Lewis Hamilton didn't come to Ferrari to collect applause, he came to rewrite history, and he knew it would never be easy. But even the fiercest warrior needs a weapon that answers his will. And after 9 races, the SF25 is not that weapon. It is a riddle, an unstable, fragile machine that betrays his genius on race days. And while the world watches Charles Leclerc clock better stats, 7-2 in qualifying, 7-1 in race results, Hamilton is fighting a deeper battle. One for respect, for influence, for the future of Ferrari itself. Then came the spark. Fred Vasseur, under pressure from Italian media and the Tifosi, uttered the words that cracked the fragile diplomacy around Hamilton's camp. The connection with Lewis is not as easy as we thought. This wasn't a casual comment. In the coded language of the paddock, this was a warning shot, and it was heard loud and clear. In Canada, Hamilton arrives at a crossroads. For the first time since he donned red, the question is no longer whether he can adapt, but whether Ferrari will finally stop tripping over its own politics and give him the platform he deserves. Because one truth remains, if you provoke Hamilton, you awaken the predator, and this predator is far from finished. The connection with Lewis is not as easy as we thought. At first glance, a neutral phrase, but inside the paddock, everyone knew better. Fred Vasseur's words were a thinly veiled signal, not to the media, but to Maranello's inner circle. In essence, it translated to, Hamilton is not playing the political game as expected, he is challenging the system, and for that, the system is beginning to resist. Behind closed doors, this comment was met with disbelief in Hamilton's camp. After all, Lewis is no stranger to adapting. He transformed Mercedes into a winning empire through relentless work, trust, and openness. At Ferrari, however, he finds a fortress built on ego and tradition. While Leclerc enjoys the comfort of years spent shaping this team around his rhythm, Hamilton must negotiate every engineering decision, every setup debate. And now, with Vasseur's public words, it is clear, the internal battle is no longer subtle. Yet this is precisely where Hamilton's strength lies. He thrives when underestimated. He draws power from tension. If Ferrari thought this comment would pressure him into submission, they have miscalculated badly. During the latest media briefing, Fred Vasseur offered another cryptic line. Not all updates for the 2025 car are visible. Some have been communicated to the FIA, others have not. To the casual listener, this sounds routine, but to Lewis Hamilton, and those who understand the coded politics of Ferrari, it meant something very different. It meant uncertainty. It meant that not even the lead driver is fully in control of what direction this team is taking. For a 7-time world champion, this is unacceptable. At Mercedes, every development cycle was collaborative. Hamilton's input shaped the car. At Ferrari, information is guarded, filtered through layers of management, tradition, and internal rivalries. Hamilton is reading this perfectly, and it is feeding a dangerous thought. Can I truly trust this project? He knows that 2025 must be the year of resurgence, not simply another season of excuses before the 2026 regulation reset. The longer Ferrari keeps its vision fragmented and opaque, the more it risks losing Hamilton's full psychological investment. Because one thing is clear, he will not waste his final years on empty promises. Hamilton's 40th birthday looms this summer. For many, it is a symbolic milestone, the point where most drivers fade gracefully into retirement. But Lewis Hamilton is not most drivers. In fact, for him, this number is not a limit, it is a weapon. Every year he continues to fight at the sharp end of Formula One serves as a direct challenge to the system, to the ageist in the media, to his rivals who quietly hope for his decline. "I'm just getting started," he said recently. And those words were no pre-spin. His training has intensified, his race preparation is more forensic than ever. Insiders speak of a Hamilton who has become even more obsessed with marginal gains, analyzing telemetry late into the night, driving Ferrari's engineers harder than they are used to. Why? Because he knows the window is narrow. He knows the story of an 8th title in red would be the greatest chapter of his career. And make no mistake, that fire still burns white hot. The real danger for Ferrari is not that Hamilton may slow down. It is that they may fail to match the intensity of a driver who has no intention of going quietly into the twilight. Few champions in the history of Formula One would dare to reinvent themselves at the height of their legacy. But Lewis Hamilton has always defied convention. This season, faced with a Ferrari that refuses to behave as he needs, Hamilton made a brutal decision to completely alter his driving style. Braking points, throttle modulation, corner entry angles, all reprogrammed in pursuit of a car that resists every instinct he has honed over 2 decades. Sources inside Maranello say the change has been very uncomfortable for him. At times it has backfired. The Spanish Grand Prix was a harsh reminder. Hamilton was left vulnerable, passed on merit by a Sauber, with Hülkenberg breezing by as well. But here lies the deeper truth. This is not failure. This is courage. Few drivers with 7 world titles would subject themselves to such adaptation. It speaks volumes about Hamilton's mentality. He is not here to protect his reputation. He is here to evolve, to win again, no matter the cost. And that is what makes this story so powerful. While others grow comfortable, Hamilton is still risking everything. The fans know it, the engineers know it. And soon, Ferrari's leadership may have to face the fact that their greatest weapon is also the one they are failing to unleash. There is hope, and Hamilton knows exactly where to find it. The next 3 circuits, Canada, Austria, and Silverstone, could mark a crucial turning point. Unlike the high downforce torture tests of recent weeks, these tracks offer opportunities to unlock the Ferrari's potential where it has at least shown flashes of competitiveness. In straight-line speed and low-drag configurations, Hamilton remembers China. When the SF25 was trimmed correctly, he won the sprint. The lone moment of joy so far this season, that memory is not lost on him, nor on his fans who crave another glimpse of the old magic. Behind the scenes, Hamilton is pushing Ferrari hard. Sources say he demanded the team accelerate its aerodynamic upgrade package for Canada. He has been in constant dialogue with engineers, insisting that they optimize the car's efficiency for these upcoming races. This is not a man preparing excuses, this is a man preparing a comeback. The message is simple: give me the tools and I will do the rest. Ferrari cannot afford to waste this window. Hamilton knows it, and so do the rivals watching nervously from across the paddock. Because when the right opportunity comes, Lewis Hamilton still knows exactly how to strike. It is a bitter irony. Inside Ferrari, the current target being whispered is no longer beat Red Bull, nor even challenge for wins. The new goal is simply this: stay ahead of McLaren. For a team of Ferrari's stature, and for a driver of Lewis Hamilton's magnitude, this is unacceptable, and no one knows it more than Hamilton himself. Privately, he has made it clear, he did not come here to fight for P5. Every race where Ferrari engineers celebrate solid points is a race where Hamilton quietly sieves. This mindset, this culture of mediocrity, is exactly what he was brought in to change. But change is hard. The structures inside Maranello are slow to shift. And while Leclerc is accustomed to navigating this system, Hamilton is challenging it head-on. This is why his fight now is about more than lap times. It is about dignity, about resetting the standard of what Ferrari should expect from itself. And for his fans, this is why every moment matters. Hamilton is not chasing hollow results, he is chasing legacy. And the more resistance he faces internally, the more determined he becomes. Because the great champions do not settle. They demand greatness, even when the world around them has forgotten what that means. The next 3 races may decide everything, not just for this season, but for the entire Hamilton-Ferrari project. If the upgrades deliver, if Hamilton finally gets a car he can trust, the narrative changes. Suddenly, 2025 becomes a campaign of redemption. The dream of an 8th title in red flickers back to life. But if the pattern continues, if Ferrari keeps Hamilton trapped in a car unworthy of his genius, the consequences will be seismic. Already, quiet voices in the paddock suggest that Hamilton is questioning the path forward. He will never publicly show it, but those closest to him know he did not come to Ferrari to be a passenger in someone else's politics. One thing is certain, Lewis Hamilton will not fade quietly. He will fight for his legacy, for his fans, and for every racer who still believes this sport should be about talent, not engineering bias or internal games. And as the Canadian Grand Prix dawns, a question hangs over the paddock. Are we about to witness the start of one of the greatest comebacks in Formula One, or the first signs of a rupture that could shake Ferrari to its core? One way or another, the next chapter will be unmissable. And if you believe Hamilton's true story deserves to be told, stay with us. Because here, we tell the truths others won't.